endless sky they reign supreme. Voices echoing like whispers in a dream. Night and west ride a storm with words they weave. Bruce joins the tale if his grind grants reprieve. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their eyes. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night. From galaxies afar to the mundane grind, no topics too obscure for their curious minds. The laughter cuts the dark like a blade of steel. In the realm of the podcast, the truths are revealed. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their lives. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night. From galaxies afar to the mundane grind, no topics too obscure for the curious minds. The laughter cuts the dark like a blade of steel. In the realm of the podcast, the truths are revealed. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their lives. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night. If Bruce's chains of labor let him break away, he joins the battle of ideas they slay. The trifecta stands strong like a mighty brigade. Their words as legends that will never fade. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their lives. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night.
There can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
And I'm Wes.
I'm Brandon.
Or will you put down the staple gun?
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Video games. We played them as kids. We loved them as kids. And now we don't play them. Arcades accepted. That's different. You collect a few arcades, which I'll be honest, I love that. I love that. But the new...
You mean console gaming?
Console, yeah. But we're talking console games. And we're talking like the newer stuff. I don't know. Do you still play? You got a kid that age.
I recently bought an Xbox.
Yeah, it's still called an Xbox.
The
newest Xbox.
Yeah, but not the box, but the C series or whatever, where the stream S series, I guess, the stream only. So you don't have to have disc on hand. Everything's just.
I think a lot of stuff is just digital.
I'm just saying that's what it. That's
no,
what
I'm fine with that. I understand.
It's probably not as good as
yours. Does it come with controllers?
It's got one. Yeah, I haven't started it up yet. But I just got it like a couple months ago.
Have you been playing video games prior to this?
Yeah, some. Yeah. I like the game for sure.
But your girl's at that age too. Does she play?
Oh no.
Oh, it's still you.
Yeah, no, it would just be me. Or if I go to Wes's house, I'll play on the arcades. And stuff.
I'll play on the arcade when I'm at Wes's house too.
We played Pit Fighter not too long ago, and it was terrible.
Did he hit reset right as you're about to win?
Wait, yeah, that's right. He probably so. He told me hit a button on one machine, it shut it down, and he acted like I crapped on his party. I was just
I
doing.
just like we're halfway through with Ninja Turtles. I told him how I hated how someone didn't put the course in time. We had to start all over again. And like as I'm on cue, this Joker hits reset on me. And I thought for a
He's
minute he
something.
did it on purpose.
Did you not?
He did
No,
not.
I
He
was
did
too
not.
excited. I was trying to hit to coin up so we had enough, and I hit them both at the same time.
Shut it down.
Yeah, and he looked at me. He looked at me like my dad would look at me when I was little.
Oh, that's great.
But anyway.
With kind of like confusion and disgust. Like when
Disgust, yeah.
I pulled that scab out of my ear last week at Dog Patch USA, and he was like, "You're messing up the vacation.
That's disgusting.
This is why we don't take you anywhere."
Hey,
I'm
I poked
sorry,
a
is
hole in
this
my
new?
eardrum.
How am I've never noticed that.
That's all my dogs' collars and their name tags
Okay.
with the dates they passed away.
I'm talking about a tattoo on his wrist. There's 3 dog collars. Mm-hmm. For a minute, I thought they were actual dog collars.
Well, thank you.
Do you want to talk about how good your tattoo artist is?
Yeah, I really.
I don't want to talk about anything about my sad tattoos. Believe
I'm
me.
gonna start crying.
I'd much rather hear more about the
Oh,
Cobras
no! Okay. I didn't mean you to get
or
upset.
Xboxes
Okay.
or anything other than that.
So
Okay.
what do you do? What console? What games do you
No,
do?
back in the day, I played them all. You know, well, the first one I ever got was in television. You know, Nintendo had just come
I
out.
don't remember. I don't think I
It was
remember that.
just that, 1985 or whatever. And Dad asked us, "Do you want the Nintendo, or do you want me to repair the Intellivision?" Because Intellivision was gaining steam again. They said, "Hey, send it in. We'll fix it for a low price, or buy the new." Because Intellivision's trying to catch back up into the games
okay.
again. And Atari was still, they're trying to rev up because everyone was caught off guard. You know, they were on autopilot, thinking
Well, everything
video
was
games-
over.
Yeah,
kinda.
it was going the way of the dinosaur. But then when Nintendo picked up, Intellivision kind of tried to ramp back up as did Atari. And Dad got the letter about he could buy a Nintendo, which was like $100 back then, or he could get the Intellivision fix for like 50 or so, or 40.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
way cheaper. But we had always
But
grown
back
up
then was
playing-
still a pile of money. It's $100
well,
bucks.
back in the
easy,
day, we
120,
played
yeah.
Atari and
Yeah.
Intellivision before. We were playing video games, and back then they busted, but we didn't know. We were
Yeah.
kids. So we were still playing those. It wasn't like a big part of our lives, but they were there. And we're like, oh, heck yeah, Intellivision. Why? Because we knew our neighbor had the newest Nintendo, so we could always play Nintendo with him.
That's so
But
smart.
to play those Intellivision games. And then he could come over and play the Intellivision game.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Intellivision controller?
It was like a
telephone
dial.
cord with a little disc, a little metal disc you could move with your hand. You know, you had to press and the disc was on a swivel, so you kind of moved around like that. And then it had keys, like a telephone. But then you slipped a little cover over the keys, and it would tell you what direction.
I knew
was
one kid that had that, but it was like his uncle's, and we could never play it unless his uncle was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you would just kind of like look at
It
it.
had that wood grain, like from the early '80s. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they
Yeah.
it looked so unorthodox.
Yeah. But we loved it, so he fixed that, and then it broke again. And then that next Christmas, he went ahead and got a Nintendo. And the thing is, years later from Mom, I heard that he wanted a Nintendo. But he said, well, I'll give him a choice. And he thought, they're going to get the Nintendo, so I can get a Nintendo. And when we didn't pick the Nintendo, he was shocked. So he went and fixed the Intellivision. And then when it broke, he went ahead and bought the Nintendo
thing?
for us. Yeah. That's a picture.
I remember seeing it.
But that was the first one we had. But to be honest,
never had
everyone
one.
before Nintendo had Ataris. So
Yeah, we had
Pac-Man,
Atari
Defender,
2600.
Everyone had that one.
Then
And-
it had
Yeah.
kids that had a 5200, and I think there was one kid that had a 7800 or something.
oh, fancy. But we
Wow,
had
I'd
the
have thought it
regular
was all the same,
cartridges,
just
and
Atari.
but we had the Intellivision. That's where it started with us, and then of course the Nintendo,
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
I guess you don't know everything.
I guess. Hey, I guess I don't know everything after all.
Do you have a favorite console?
Man, it used to be PlayStation, and then for some reason my hands are kind of beefy and like
They
fat.
look like strong hands, don't
well, they're not as soft as Wes's, but they're comparable in size.
they? Okay. Well, to be honest, Wes has a lot of lotion. We've talked about this.
Lots, very yeah,
Well,
Like Buffalo Bill.
he works.
Yeah.
Kind of in a lotion place, so
yeah.
makes sense that his skin is always silky.
I do
smooth,
work at a
clean.
lotion place.
Still pretty oily though.
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm playing. So I like the Xbox. The controller seemed to fit my hands a little
The
better.
Xbox.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Mine was N64.
Oh yeah.
Really loved a lot of the games on that one.
I think
Where-
I'm gonna say Sega Genesis,
Man, that
and the
was-
Wow.
only reason I say that is
Sonic.
because a good friend of mine told me years ago he remembered that was the first time he ever saw a Sega Genesis was coming to my house, and like nobody around had one, and I guess that was kind
Jason,
of
that
Redding
was
had
unique because Sega Genesis were around not too long after the Nintendo, but not many people had them.
I had a Nintendo
But
64.
you know why?
I liked that too.
I remember playing one at Toys R Us back in the day, and I went, C button. That's just awful. That's just too many buttons. I remember saying that
Yep.
as a kid that
That's
you put a
wild.
C button on there. That's too many buttons. And so I wouldn't get it. And I wonder how many people were turned off because they thought it was too
Yeah.
compared to the
Complicated.
Xbox
Yeah.
controller with 2 triggers, 2
Yeah.
swivel sticks, top
Yeah,
buttons,
and good
middle
point.
buttons, trigger buttons.
There
I
was a
thinking
time when
more
you had
current.
a ton
Oh yeah.
of systems on like 2005.
Yeah. I still. I mean,
you
I
used
still
to
play
collect a
'em.
bunch of game systems?
Well, no, I mean, I still have them. I mean, I gave the PlayStation away, and I think I have one Xbox.
You're
or
kind
something
of a
left over.
collector of things that you
Yeah,
don't
and then
use.
when I get it, I just don't really. I don't know. It's more the getting it than it is the having it. I think.
What was. What,
Do you think there's something deeper to that?
Oh, of course, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
What was the last video game you played before your parents got divorced?
What was it? Excite Bike and Rygar. You remember Rygar and Excite Bike?
Absolutely.
What year were those? That was about that was around
88,
88,
89?
89. That's about it's about D-Day
Yeah.
for me.
Wow.
Divorce Day.
Wow.
How weird. Kid Icarus. Remember that one?
I remember Kid Icarus.
I love that one.
Did you
man.
start off with Nintendo? Was that your first early memory?
I had Atari. I
You had
remember-
Atari
yeah, I had,
too, okay.
had Atari, and then I had Nintendo, and then Nintendo 64, and all that. And then,
How many Cobras had the Nintendo?
well, one had a Sega Genesis, but the rest of them had just I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure they had regular.
One had a
Nintendos.
Sega Genesis. That's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
I remember most everybody had Nintendo
That's
because
unique,
we'd always
though, bro.
swap cartridges in between and all that.
Yeah.
You know.
So
I used
Sega-
to get so frustrated. You'd go borrow somebody's and they'd let you swap out games, and theirs would just basically not work.
Well, let me ask you this: what games did you love that made you love the Sega Gen? There was a lot of good games on it, but what games in particular were you like, man, this is really just
I remember what I was most excited about
Status.
was,
Status.
yeah, that, obviously. Yeah.
Think there's something to that?
No, yes,
okay.
absolutely.
No, yes.
Because it came with Altered Beast. That was the first thing. And that was, it looked like an arc. It was close enough, and it was selling you on like 16-bit technology. And they had that at Tilt, and I played it, and I was like, oh, this is like playing an arcade.
yeah.
Because I enjoyed the arcade thing. There's something about going into an arcade and there'd just be a bunch of kids in there being
Well, I think
competitive
a lot
and
of
this-
people our age remember that you go to the arcade. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Because you meet up with some friends. Sometimes you wouldn't play games. You talk, but of course you had a roll of quarters
Yeah.
in your pocket. You know, the old joke is that a roll of quarters in your pocket. Or you're just happy to see me.
Is that where that came from? No.
Yeah.
What?
And then I'd say,
No.
yeah, I'd say it's a roll of quarters. Let me knock some sense into you.
Ain't no way that's real.
Anyway, so
I'm like, wait a minute.
so
hold on.
you won't find that episode on the
No.
Waltons. There you go. So, but you
He
go to the
went
arcade,
after
you'd
dark
hang
on us,
out.
man.
You'd always eat something because sometimes they had snack food there,
Oh,
or
yeah.
it was near a food court. In our case, you just go outside to get something in the food court, and you come back in.
Yep.
And then someone would be playing something. Maybe you'd watch them trying to get a high score, or what we did mostly. Obviously, I've told the story before. The Ninja Turtle game that
Yeah.
we played, that was my jam. So when it didn't stay at Tilt that long. They removed it and it went to Skate Town.
Just gonna put
And it
the
was there
quarters
for
in
the
it.
longest. And I
Nice.
just went to Skate Town and just played that all the time. But man, I love that game. Now I played other games too, but the Ninja Turtle one, as arcades go, that took the most
Who's your
money
favorite
from me.
Ninja Turtle?
Raphael. Always played Raph.
Get that.
But no, that was a fun time. You just sit there, but you weren't always playing games. Is the thing either. You're sitting there hanging
Yeah,
out,
just hanging out,
talking,
yeah.
or watching someone else score, cheering them on, or watching someone you didn't even know.
cheering them on, yeah, right.
You know, you're watching. I'd
Hating
watch
them.
the battles.
I'd be
I'd
hating
watch
it.
the
Yeah,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat battles
Oh,
and
man,
see who
that
was
was good
winning
stuff.
and who's good. You start cheering for people. to win.
You said something earlier. I gotta ask you something. You do such a great job describing stuff. Like you talked about Toys R Us going in there. I remember when you said that. I mean, my mind flashed back.
Yeah.
To like standing almost like kind of walk us through like what that would be like. Walk me
Well,
through
no, I'll
it.
walk you through any better. Remember, Walmart had the Nintendo. You
Yeah,
could all take turns.
yeah.
But remember, we always got in line.
There you go.
We were children.
It was very
by the 80s.
orderly.
It was
Yeah.
very orderly. And once that person died, there wasn't any fighting. There wasn't
Yeah.
any, I'm going to play again.
Right.
It was hand it to the person behind you.
That's right.
There were no
Get back in line.
parents telling us.
Yeah, get back in line.
This isn't back in my day story here, I know, but there were no parents telling us.
Yeah.
You pass to the next person in line, then you'd go back and get in line. And hopefully, people died a lot. It was always fun to watch that kid die really fast and get the controller.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like this kid sucks.
So you'd play next. But the thing is, though, you'd wait back in line to get back
I
in. And when
remember
your
that,
mom was
man.
going to come pick you up, you're like, Mom, go look at someone else real quick. I'm next up. You didn't
Yeah.
want to. But when kids were in front of you and their
I
mom took you
remember
away, you were
doing
so
that, man.
happy because now they were out of the line. And then sometimes, rare occasions, it was just you and your brother or whatnot.
I'm on
And
the
you would
channel.
take turns with both controllers playing Mario and Luigi. But there's a good memory for you that you've
Man,
forgotten
that's
about.
good stuff, dude. That is so good. That takes me back.
Yeah,
I can still smell the store.
yeah.
Smell
That's a good
Like
memory.
that card store we went to in
Okay,
Houston.
Toys
same
R
way.
Us.
Yeah.
Remember that you couldn't pick the game up; you had to pick up the little tag
Oh yeah.
and then give it to the lady behind the counter, and
then they would go-
They had
She'd
a
have to go
video
back and go
game
get
store,
it.
and she'd go in back into the.
It was like a big glass
and pull out
off. It was like
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to a gas station in the 90s when you would just come in and like hand them the money and you couldn't go in.
Yeah,
And They
yeah.
would like get whatever you wanted out of there. It was how it was.
That's how it was, and they take your
That's-
little card.
man, I
But remember
forgot
when you're
all
trying to
about
find
that.
the
It was like a
newest
game
and
bank.
then you were so upset because the little pouch
Yeah.
didn't have any slips in it.
Yeah.
You're like, no, they're sold out because they didn't have any slips of paper.
Man.
There you go. There's one thing you
And
forgot.
it's probably just because some butthole kid pulled them out.
Yeah.
It could be, but
That's why
then,
they had to take one on there now, right?
But then you'd always ask him, when are you getting more? Because the newest game, I remember Super Mario 2. We wanted that game so bad. I saved
Yeah.
I saved up my money, and I didn't have enough. This is back in the 80s. $20 was like $1 billion back then.
Oh,
I
yeah.
finally got $20. And then I convinced my brother, who just had a birthday and got $20 total. I said, let's split it.
Yeah, games were like 50 or
Yeah.
60
They were
bucks.
$40 back. It was $40
Yeah.
I remember for that game. I said, let's split. 'Cause I was like, it will take
Dude,
a
I had
whole
forgotten
nother
all
year.
about that wall of games and stuff like you're talking about like that.
Yeah.
That's so
Wall
good.
of little paper slips with the price tag and the name on the top, and you give it with the barcode.
Yeah.
And they scan the barcode, they tell them where it was in their little stash there.
Man,
and they bring
we
out the game to you.
They should have a store like that.
Super
we could just kind
nice.
of drop back in time and go do that sometimes.
They do have stores like
Civilized.
that.
What? When? Where? I've never-
Tons of stores like that. Like
We should get out more.
So let me ask you this: the
Yeah.
last console I ever had was no, it was just the Xbox. I don't think I got anything above.
yeah,
the
you
next-
said that, but it got the red light of death. And
Yeah,
that was
Ring
it.
of
Oh,
Death.
man, I got
and,
that, yeah.
that ended my career with that. Now I do have another Xbox. I did eventually get one, but I think the last game I played was the Arkham Knight. I played Arkham City. That's the first one, and then Arkham Knight's the second one. Yeah. So
couldn't
Arkham
remember the
Asylum
last
is the
one.
first one, and Arkham City is the second one, I think. So yeah, but I played both of those. Those were the last.
Wow.
That was my last hurrah for video games, and I'll tell you why I stopped too. That was when the downloadable content started popping up, which is rampant now. But I was pissed because they made me buy the Robin Adventure Pack. I had to pay extra. I was like, I just paid $70 for this.
Little
game.
did you know
And
that's
now-
what gaming was going to turn into.
and now that's what
That's
all,
all
the
it
gaming
is.
turned into now was
Yeah.
just micro purchases. But Batman Arkham Asylum when I first saw it, because you'd buy the strategy guide. Remember buying the strat before YouTube? You
Yeah.
bought the strategy guide. I still have the strategy guide, I think, somewhere in there. I was proud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
video
I found
game
one-
magazines were a
I-
huge deal when you
Oh,
had
yeah.
I
consoles.
found one on clearance at Walmart in the little clearance shelf.
Yeah, yeah.
They still had an. I was like, oh my gosh! And so because I didn't buy it when the game came out.
Right.
If you didn't buy the strategy guide when the game came out, it was gone.
Yeah,
You
you're
couldn't
not
buy
getting it.
anymore.
It's gone, yeah.
And I found it on
That's
on
really
discount.
cool.
It was one of these like Winsboro, Walmarts or whatever
Yeah.
back in the day, and small business. I was like, look at that! There's one. I said, oh my gosh! I was so happy to get it because now I could look at the book and find out where
Yeah.
everything was or how to beat this or whatnot. But anyway, the
That's
strategy
such a good
guides.
time. That's good
All
stuff,
right,
man.
But anyway, so
Except for all the pain
other
and
thing
all that
was
misery
the
and stuff.
skins. If you wanted all these Batman skins for your character, You had to pay like $5 just for you to overlay a digital overlay of his look. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I've already spent close to $100 on this game, and I still don't have all.
This
and
is
it's-
Angry Cuckoo now.
Yeah,
It's some of my
just say his
favorite.
own
Well,
one, man.
the thing was, the exclusive skins on PlayStation were better than the ones on Xbox. The ones on PlayStation was Batman Nightfall, the Azrael, the Claws one, which I love that comic book, so I wanted that one, but that was exclusive to PlayStation. And then the other one that was exclusive to PlayStation was the Batman 66 look,
So you had to get
the
both.
Adam West.
Did
And
you
I
get
could,
the?
no,
did
I
you
couldn't
get
get them because I didn't have a PlayStation.
You didn't get a PlayStation also?
No, when I had a PlayStation, I had the first one. I didn't get the second one. I went with Xbox, unlike everyone
I had the
else.
PlayStation
But
1, 2.
I got the PlayStation 1, Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Loved them.
I like those, like
Played
Blitz.
those all the time.
I remember playing Blitz a
I'd
lot.
play those again if I had the shot.
I remember playing Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl was a good one.
That's great.
But when I started realizing how much I was paying just for one thing, I was like,
That's how it's pretty high. Yeah.
I said, this is ridiculous. Is this? And then
So
I
what
kept
am I
seeing that was
wondering?
where it was. That's where gaming was going, where you're paying hundreds of. Like now, it's even worse. You buy the game, you just have the base stuff. Everything is locked. You have to pay tons and tons. Even though they already have the game developed, they're not going to sell you the whole game. They're going to sell you it in pieces now.
Oh,
And
no.
I was like, nope, I'm done. And
I may
I've
have
been
messed
out.
up. I haven't opened it yet. Maybe I should sell it.
No, I'm not discouraging you from getting one. I'm
Sounds
just
super
telling you why
expensive.
I got out. And I remember the day in the game it was. And after I purchased the Robin Adventure and had fun. And then I looked at they were selling skin packs. And I was like $2 for a skin, or you can buy a whole pack for
That's
10. I was
crazy.
I was like, that is stupid. And I
Is
started
that
getting
still
mad.
going on like that?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
what all
Oh
of it is.
man, I'm gonna sell
It's
it.
still like that. But then I said, I'm done.
You want
And
to
I
buy an
never got-
Xbox?
Yeah, I
S-Series?
didn't played it yet.
I'm not gonna. I can't afford
Yeah,
it.
Anyway.
You know, I have an addictive personality. That won't fit me
well,
well.
you just pick one game you really like and go for it. But I want to know from Wes, when did you step out of the video game console?
PlayStation 1.
Whoa,
That was
way
the last
earlier
console
than me.
I owned.
Wow. Is that when you started bouncing at 13th floor?
No, it was before that.
Okay, so kind of life took you away from video games.
Yes,
Got it. Okay.
specifically Melissa.
More Wolfle?
Yeah.
Okay. So she said no video
She
games.
said-
Well,
Like,
she
my
said
mom, it's
no to
time to
most
grow up.
everything. Yeah, kinda. Like
Time to grow up.
yeah. There was kinda that vibe
Okay.
with her.
Okay, it was like video games are for children. You're not a child anymore.
Yeah, like I remember when we were
Gotcha.
working in the mall when the tilt was still going, and I can remember like Caleb and people going down there and playing Blitz. I never went down there and played Blitz. That was like 97, 98.
Yep.
But I was out of it by then.
Wow.
Wow.
Making fun of the people playing still.
I did not know.
No,
that.
I don't
'cause you
think I was making fun. It was like, but I was also living on my own too. So the financial side of
That's
that,
actually true.
That's true.
Now,
and none of the guys that I was living with at that time played video games.
it depends on how you wanted to
Yeah.
spend your money
That's true.
because I was into video games. That's why we never had any food in the fridge. That's why I couldn't go out to eat as much. But you're right, because you only had a little bit to move around. We can't buy all nice clothes, bruh. But I mean, no, you had to make a
funny, bruh.
decision on what you were going to spend it on. And whether that's, leather jackets or, hospital bills because some kid pushed you into a cabinet and broke your spine. Or, whatever the case, whatever you're spending it on. You go out to eat all the
Throw 'em
time.
up, y'all.
Exactly. You go to Comic-Con, get your comic books graded, and then be pissed off when they come in lower than what you thought, and you wasted
Man.
$200 for nothing. But the thing is, though, you get to choose what you're going to spend your money on.
Yeah.
And because you didn't have video, but you did a lot of concerts too.
Yeah,
did
we had
a
a
lot of
it
concerts.
wasn't like
And to be fair, in the long run, you had the better trade-off.
sure.
Because those are memories you'll always have.
Right.
I had great time playing games,
sure.
but I may remember one great game here, one great time there. I'm sure when I played the original Halo, I had a billion stories back
man,
in the day,
yeah.
and now I can only remember one or two. I can't remember any great. That one
Yeah.
moment you just got a great win. But now I just all that kind of runs together where you can remember what you did at the concert, what you got. You probably still have a T-shirt from it. But that was a better trade-off. But I didn't know you got to have it that early.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it?
I'll tell you what I didn't like about PlayStation that I have had an issue with patience my whole life, and
The loading time.
bingo.
I agree. That's why I got rid of it.
I was like, this is sucks.
I hated it. I hated
I think I bought Darkstalkers, the fighting game, and I was like, jeez.
Well, see,
this
that
is
was the first
terrible.
CD disc, right? Everything, the N64 was still cartridge.
Yeah.
And I was old school. I said, man, this is crap. Give me the N64. I traded straight up for a PlayStation
Really?
for an N64
Really?
because I was like, I'm never going back to. Of course, that was the nature of the beast.
Yeah,
going
little
CDs,
did you
but
know.
I thought cartridges were way better because of that loading time.
Yeah, it
exactly
was
what you said.
terrible. It totally just between other life things, but getting it, and I was so let down by that because I love the graphics, the visual side of it was great, but man,
And you know when I said goodbye, because I stayed loyal to Nintendo until their GameCube came out, and that
Oh
was
yeah.
such a piece.
I
of
never had
garbage.
that one.
It was such a piece of garbage, and I wanted to like it because I was a
Yeah,
Nintendo
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
I
of
thought
course.
back then, and then I thought, nope, this sucks. I'm moving on, and I bought an Xbox. And I remember the time I bought that too.
Really? I have a Game Boy. Did you have a Game Boy?
I did not have the Game
Still
Boy.
have it.
Game Boy came out a little too young.
I
to
never
have
had a
my own
Game Boy
money.
when I was little.
I know
either.
someone who did, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Of course.
I got it for Kelly for one of like a wedding present or something.
Oh,
just
that was
'cause
nice.
Because I always wanted to have one, like of my own.
So wait, so you bought her one so you could use it?
Yeah, I knew she wasn't gonna.
Do you
play
always
much.
buy
She
her
plays
presents
Tetris
that
on
you
it.
can use that she won't need?
Yeah.
Here, honey, look what I bought you.
Look, I got you.
It's a Cobra T-shirt.
Hey.
It's my size too.
You
So
need-
when you don't wear it, I can wear it.
Hey man, those are coveted shirts.
You're getting a staple gun next year, honey. I'm gonna initiate you.
forever.
Yeah, we didn't anything permanent.
Okay. But okay, so that's interesting.
I'm shocked you didn't have a Game Boy. That's kind of weird.
I didn't have a game.
figured
Well,
for sure
a
you'd
lot
have
of
had
people,
that.
I mean, back then, you know, I was way younger, and we weren't going to get Game Boys. We got those little. Remember those
Well, I was the
little
only child. I gotta forget that
Tonka,
too, though.
not Tonka, but the little digital
Tiger LCD
Tiger
games.
LCD
Oh, yeah,
games.
yeah.
We had a billion of those. Mom and Dad would buy them because they'd give them to us when we went on long trips.
I like the little baseball.
That way
ones,
we would
man.
shut up and
Yeah.
play the little dee 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 dee.
I've
We
got
had
some
to
of
keep
those
the
still.
sound down a little bit, not to drive Dad nuts. But Dad would have the music going anyway, and he knew we would play on those little Tiger little toy.
I'm surprised y'all
things
weren't just singing the whole way,
the
Yeah,
whole
no
time.
doubt.
like the Partridge Family.
Yeah, making
we'd
popcorn
sing-
garland
you
or
do
something
the
for
alphabet
Christmas.
game. You do the alphabet game. Try to find A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You try to say songs or movies starting with the A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
We do that still.
Every once in a while we'd sing.
I've heard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you remember at the
We look for numbers on
during
license
Christmas
plates.
on the radio when they weren't playing Christmas song? Dad would play it to "All the Things of Lake Minnetonka," and you know, remember that guy telling the stories about the lakes of
Man, we grew up
Lake
on
Michigan,
different
Lake Minnetonka.
worlds, bro.
Oh, those were good days,
Bruh.
He said,
What's
it was
wrong with this guy,
The
bruh?
guy who would tell a story of you know 1940s
Bruh.
Minnesota and growing up, and old Tom Barfield who ran the
You're basically
pharmacy down
describing
the road.
how to pull a transmission out of a car right now. I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're
Man,
talking
it's
about.
so
I know it
listen to those
exists, but that's
I've
it.
seen it on TV and I didn't believe it there.
Yeah, that was well. I'm just saying.
I
It was
believe
like,
you.
It was the
I
Waltons on
believe
radio,
you.
is what it was.
Yeah.
But he'd always tell about Christmas over the frozen lake of Lake Minnetonka, or whatever it was called.
You ever heard this song about Teddy Bear? With the no, okay, you gotta
No,
check that one
no,
out.
go ahead.
No, it's terribly. My dad made me
It's,
listen
it's
to
a
that.
terribly
over and over.
depressing teddy bear song.
No, it's uplifting. I guess it all depends on the lens that you're looking through. It's a song about. It's a.
Oh, it can be uplifting or depressing.
Man,
I got you a
should've
present
said
that I like.
Yeah.
It's that kind of mentality.
Here,
Yeah.
honey, my favorite cereal.
Man, what is your favorite cereal?
What is my favorite cereal?
I know mine.
Probably I don't know. I guess Cheerios. I always go with the classic. Okay.
Strawberry shortcake, by far the best.
Cereal.
By far the best.
Like the actual cartoon character had her own cereal. Called,
Yeah, and it was.
Do they
the
still
best.
make it?
I'm not. I think you actually can.
Why
maybe
did
get
you
that.
have strawberry shortcake as a kid?
Look, man, I was going through some stuff. I don't know. It's
What
just
were you
good.
going through?
It was just
Other than
excellent.
strawberry
It-
shortcake
I remember,
cereal.
tasted
I remember
good.
one of the
I'm not a milk
girls I
drinker,
knew.
and
She
I
had
liked
Rainbow
it.
Bright cereal, and she told me it was so good. I remember saying, "Well, it has marshmallows in it, so I'll try it." But I didn't want to
Yeah.
try no girl cartoon cereal back then.
I didn't mind. It was
but
great.
it tasted awful. But that wasn't the worst tasting cereal. That Super Mario Zelda
Yeah.
two-pack cereal. We begged our mom for that, and that was the nastiest.
I like strawberry short. I probably actually had that across the street, probably at Jan's house, and sneaking some extra food from my house. Trying to go over there and
What
fill up.
flavor was it?
It's like strawberry. It was. I mean, it had marshmallow. It's great. I mean, look.
Was it? It wasn't chocolate.
It had more of a
lingonberry?
blueberry hint. Sometimes.
What about huckleberry?
It depends on the kind of milk you used.
What were the names of strawberry shortcake's friends?
What
Man, I
kind
have
of
no
milk
idea.
were the choices? Did you put
Or
chocolate
vanilla?
milk
I
on
mean,
your?
on chocolate cookie crisp? Why would you not do that?
Ugh, I've never put chocolate milk on cereal.
I didn't have it either. I'm just messing. I made that up. Yeah, that's it. It's
I just
amazing.
looked it up. The only children's cartoon cereals.
It's
I love,
amazing.
I love Star Wars 3POs. I really thought the 3POs were tasty, and then I liked Smurfs, the Smurfberry cereal.
Yeah, those are good.
Which they brought back when the movie came out, but it wasn't the real Smurfberry cereal.
Oh, it's terrible now. Captain
I guess
Crunch
they're going
used
to
be
do that
amazing.
again now that there's a new movie. Is there a new Smurf cereal out now?
Where I'm trying to figure out strawberry shortcake.
You go get you a bowl of it and you'll have it figured out.
I don't know if you had a favorite cereal. Did you have a favorite cereal?
He didn't eat cereal. He had asthma.
I mean, as a kid, it was probably Fruity or Cocoa Pebbles.
Probably.
Like I love both of them.
I would buy Fruity
I didn't like the
Pebbles, but
sogginess on
yeah,
them.
it would
They
get
get
so
soggy.
soggy
You had to
so
eat it
fast.
quick.
But the commercials made you want to buy
Yeah,
it.
they did, man.
I
I like them dry.
Yeah, it was always good.
I eat them a handful of
I
times.
always ate. I could eat it didn't matter. Anything Pebbles. Back then they don't have Fruity or Cocoa.
Anything Pebbles.
Yeah.
That's good.
I bought you some Ghost protein cereal. How
I
was
love
that? Was it?
That
Really?
was really good. Yeah. That was really good. Marshmallows were like
I
Lucky
try to bring
Charms.
gifts sometimes to Cuckoo.
That was really nice. Yeah, I had to put that on the top shelf. Couldn't have
Wow.
my kids be getting that.
Yeah, he ain't
that
gonna
must
blow
be
He
it.
nice.
want
I
to
get
slap
that.
any of those
I
kids
saved
around for
that for
getting
only
daddies.
Saturday mornings.
Really?
Truthfully, yes. 'cause
You use
I
chocolate
wanted-
milk?
I wanted it to be a special time, so I'd always have a bowl every Saturday. Because he had asked me later on that week, "Did you try it?" Yes, and not yet, because I wanted to wait till Saturday. Because Saturday morning cereal, everything. The one thing I don't do, which I just can't bring myself to do anymore, but you remember you used to spoon tons of sugar on your cereal.
Oh, sure.
I
Absolutely.
remember the last bite was scraping the bottom
That's
of the
the
bowl.
best bite. That's
and
the
it was
only
the gray
bite.
sugar.
Oh, yes. Dude, you're speaking my
That's
language.
why I can't do it
cuz.
anymore. It's because of Wes's face. But I remember scraping that. You
Oh,
hear
that
the
was like-
grit.
oh,
You hear
man.
the grit, and then you
the
let
best.
it was like you were digging for gold.
You'd sift it out.
Shift the
Here it
milk
is,
out,
baby.
And here's this gray lump of sugar that's been sitting there the whole time.
I don't
and you take
understand
that
how
bite,
people
and
that
you're
So
in
good.
heaven.
eat
So
cereal
good.
don't drink the milk though.
I didn't know.
No, we always
I'm
drank
not-
the milk.
I never
We had
drank the
to.
milk. I didn't drink the milk.
But digging that last
That-
sugar bite,
that's the
full,
best.
nothing but pure sugar. And the thing is,
Yeah.
your parents never said anything when you poured spoonfuls of sugar
You're right.
on your cereal. Like my kids have never put one spoon of sugar on.
I
their
never
cereal,
did that.
Ever.
Never did that.
You never put sugar
Really?
on your. Even when cereal had sugar already included, we still
the
put
Fruit
sugar
Loops or
on.
whatever, you would never put it, or Apple Jacks. I always like those too.
Wow. All right.
My dad put
Sugar
it on
Smacks.
there one time, making it for me, and it tasted so different. I was like, ugh.
Really?
Yep, because he would put sugar on his Cheerios, and he did it for mine. I was like, pass. This sucks.
All right, officially off the wagon now, off the topic. Folks, let us know in the comments below. What was the first video game console you got in? When did you get out and why? If you did get out, let us know that.
And did you get back in?
And did you get back in and buy an Xbox,
Yeah.
whatever thing?
S series, and are you going to stay?
And think
in?
about ever using it.
Are you interested in buying one from Brandon?
Lame.
All right.
I may sell it.
We'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.
I got you something I might like.